Okay, what's next? We're going to plank, hands under shoulders. Let's come up. So similar rules from this standpoint. So external rotation, gripping the floor, setting up the shoulder in space before we go. And we are pushing down quite hard and trying to keep neutral through here so don't end up in some weird position. We need to squeeze all of our muscles so we are tense. When I teach this, I get people to go into plank. They're normally here at this stage, tucking the tailbone, and then get them to drop the knees down. That way you can get better at keeping tension without the extra load of having the knees off the floor. Okay, so if you're normally here in your kneeling plank, you'll need to tuck your tailbone underneath. So I am squeezing my bum really hard, and that is like I'm in a glute bridge. Okay, should kind of look like the other position. Okay, so just flipped around, right? Okay, so as we go into plank, things to consider, just keeping a nice strong base, very much a gymnastics plank. If you're here for longer, you'll do something more relaxed. But I like to make the most of those few seconds that we actually do plank for to make it nice and strong. So squeeze, tense, create that shape. It's essentially a hollow hold upside down. When we start doing things with our arms, okay, we can be very thoughtful about taps coming across. So don't rush these and try not to come too far over. You will naturally need a bit of a shift to find balance, particularly if your feet are together, okay? But you need to work around how you're going to keep tension without changing in any sort of twist, okay? So we're in that position there. We can focus on that transition going across, just very steady, trying to move subtly as we can. We're trying to keep the hips level. Okay, so if you notice yourself twisting a lot, that's a bit of a different move. We're trying to stay neutral. And again, you can pick where you're going to with that tap. Just make it nice and organized, steady away. The thing I like to do actually prior to that variation is lifting the leg, because it means your shoulders get a bit more time to acclimatize to the difficulty of loading through your hands. If you lift one leg, then you will be supporting just through one side. It forces you to be as steady as possible. And again, you can see if anything has gone out of position. So we can raise the leg, we can raise an arm. Naturally, you can then practice doing both of them. So it has to be opposite sides, at least my understanding. So leg, arm, and it's creating balance and stability through there. So call that super plank. Okay, you can alternate, you can crunch, you can add in all these other things. Speaking of crunching, a mountain climber or some of the lizard variations, they all use plank. So get better at sliding your knee forwards, okay, bringing your hip out and over into lizards. Get really familiar with creating enough tension so that you're holding the position well without holding so much tension that you're exhausted when you're doing other things. Okay, particularly important for like burpee transitions, stuff like that. Okay.